This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the Foster.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, my name is Peter. Yeah, I want. Here's good.
Yeah.
Adam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on. He likes it. It's showtime. I'm Peter G, and you're watching my show. Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show. That's right, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Used to be called Hump Day, but now it's Peter G Day. How the hell is everybody? I can honestly tell you it's really great to be here. The sun is shining. We were just talking before the show that it's hot in a lot of places. It's really hot. And the reason being because we are officially into summertime. Yesterday was the official first day of summer. So enjoy it while you can, folks. Once the bitching starts about being hot, and then we go into daylight savings time, and everybody starts bitching about I liked it better the other way, and then it's like I can't wait till spring. I'm just glad I friggin' wake up, and then whatever happens, happens. But anyway, it's all good. I hope everybody's doing really well, and I thank you for watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here, like clockwork, every week. Don't forget the podcast. You can watch, if you can't watch the Peter G Show, you need to listen to the Peter G Show. Just Google Peter G Show podcast. It's on like 25 different platforms, the biggest of which is like Apple Podcasts and things like that. But it'll pop up. Pick whichever one you want. Take it on the go. Listen to it while you're at work because nobody likes being at work because that's why they call it work. And while you're driving in the car, while you're laying at the pool, whatever, just go for it. Speaking of going for it and dry and arid, I want to bring on the Sultan of Swing, my friend and yours, ladies and gentlemen. Pepsi. Oh,
Swing!
That's right.
Swing!
The Sultan of Stone, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing, Mr. Peter G? Good to see you.
Well, since
As
5
always.
minutes ago, I think I'm okay. We're off to a good start so far, but there's plenty of show left. You know, yeah.
Plenty to go wrong.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
right.
I always tell people, including it's like I don't need nobody screwing me up. I can screw myself up just fine. I don't need no help.
Yeah, but remember, when things go wrong, don't go with them.
Don't go with them. Oh,
Mhm.
Thank you. What's his name? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about.
No, it's not. It's not from him. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
no, it's not from him. No, it's not from him. Don't even want to mention his name. But anyway, yes.
Yeah.
How
Hey,
are
you know
Peter,
what?
Mr. Peter G?
I'm good tonight. I'm excited. We got Lauren from LA Sand Wellness Women's Health tonight. You know that, I
Mhm.
know. Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
she's gonna be on in a few minutes. I'm good. I know what you're doing, so we're all
Working, man. Phil,
Yeah,
do
work.
this. Phil, do that.
Yeah, you're working. Like Pepsi, I need you to like do it yourself. Do it yourself.
Anyway,
Like, don't yell at me. Stop yelling at me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's all good.
again,
It's all good.
yeah, it's all good.
Mhm.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, hey, Wait. Before you get into your brainstorm, did you know that right here in the Peter G Show camp, we've got 2 birthdays this week amongst our little circle.
Birthdays.
Well, yeah, and I didn't even know it. Well, I knew it, but I forgot. And okay, so last week, Monday, I was having a meeting with Big Money Marv. Okay,
Yeah, Big Money Marv.
He's back from New York. So he's back from New York. So well, he kind of begged to get back from New York. He's been there too. So I'm talking to him, and he doesn't say a damn thing about anything. We're talking about show stuff, whatever. Later on, I'm scanning Facebook as I always do and all the other platforms, and I see people wishing him a happy birthday.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
The son of a gun was talking to me the whole time, and he was that humbled. He didn't say, "Yeah, well, today's my birthday."
Of course, that's Big Money Marv. That's he's class.
Yeah, he is. And,
he's total class.
Right here. So I went on and I put it all over Facebook. I'm going. Happy birthday to the one and only.
Nice, man.
Yeah, this is the most patient man that I know that will put up with our shit and just still remain calm.
Oh, man.
And I've always called Big Money Marv my voice of reason. He's always lurking in the background. And the best way that I can explain Marvin is when I'm frolicking in the mall, he'll eventually walk up to me and quietly say, "You might want to put some clothes on," and then.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's the coolest.
Yeah, so
he's the coolest Big Money Marv.
He's the most patient man. So I wished him. I went on and I started making stuff, and I plastered it all over every one of the platforms because he's very together. I mean, there needs to be more Big Money Marvs in the world. That's all I can tell you.
Big time.
Yeah. So happy birthday to Big Money Marv.
Much love.
He's the most patient man, and he's the one who bails you out of jail too. Because right there, one more time, Big Money Marv. Yeah, that's
all right, man.
Awesome. So we had Big Money Marv had a birthday on Monday. Today, however, is a lot of people don't know this, but the Peter G Show, we have our own Surgeon General. I have my own personal Surgeon General, which is AKA Stage Mother, which is AKA opposing counsel. But Dr. Aparna, it's her birthday today, June 22nd, and I don't have a picture. Yeah, and I don't have a you could use namaste. Yeah,
no. Happy birthday, Dr. Aparna. Yes.
I do not have a picture of her because she won't permit it.
Well, of course, because she's smart.
Exactly. She wants to keep her anonymity. She says, "I'll work with you and support you, but I don't want anybody to know. I'll lose my license." But anyway, I mean, oh my God, it's like, it's good to have somebody that's critical on the opposite side that doesn't always, agree with everything. But I mean, she's over the top at times. It's like, I don't like that tie you're wearing, it's like, you should have said that. Don't do that again. It's like,
hey, where is your tie, by the way?
We're in summer mode right now. It's hot. Yeah,
hot.
It's some summer breeze. Yeah, makes me feel fine.
Not anymore due to climate change, so to say.
Dude, yeah. I'm not even wearing any pants. I'm not wearing any pants.
Hey, man, neither am I. So, man, welcome to the club.
I hope. Don't look, Apple.
Oh dang! It's too late.
I hope there's not an emergency. Anyway, happy birthday to the Surgeon General, Dr. Aparna. I love you for knowing me and still coming around. But that's that. So anyway, so that's where we're at.
Yeah, right, man. Busy week. Oh, hey. By the way, how was your Father's Day? And by the way, this last week was also Juneteenth holiday weekend. But how was your Father's Day, Mr.
Well,
Fiergy?
we celebrated. I do, in honor of Juneteenth. I put an Abraham Lincoln penny in my pocket. To me, he was the real Juneteenth. I mean, he let people free, made people free and all, but they don't seem to talk about that too much. But anyway, Father's Day.
Focusing on. Let's get focused. Want to get focused? Let's focus on Father's Day.
Let me tell you about Father's Day real quick. I got to tell this story.
Please.
I got this because I'm glad you.
Please,
you
cut me out of the picture, would you?
Oh no. Listen, yeah. Believe me. So my daughter and I said, what do you want to do? I mean, it's Father's Day, but every day to me I have with her is a great day. And again, my father's no longer alive. But so, it's all about me and her. And so I said, why don't we go to a movie? I haven't been to a movie in ages. The only reason I went to movies was because of her. I take her to the Pixar movies and stuff like that. I don't go to movies a lot. I like movies. I just don't go to them. I don't know why. I don't have time. Who knows?
Who's got the time?
Well, yeah, I'm busy. Oh, what happened?
What happened? What happened? I don't know what happened.
Pastor Ray's on everybody. Okay, so I said, let's go to a movie. Let's go see Tom Hanks because she watched the first. I made her watch the first Tom Hanks Top Gun movie with me about a month ago, and I said, let's go see the new Top Gun movie and let's
Tom
go grab
Hanks.
Some. Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Cruise, Hanks, whatever.
Sorry.
They're all, they're all
Tom, right? Tom, who?
Tom this, Tom that.
I was born confused, so I had to ask. Sorry.
That would have been funny if it was Tom Hanks, right?
Tom Hanks.
What happened? So we go grab something.
You can't make this up.
We go grab something to eat. This is. I came up with a brainstorm. We're gonna have a good segment one day, and we went and had something to eat. That was all good. And then we go into the movies. They don't even have like the ticket people anymore. It's all kiosk. Like those jobs are gone. You go get your ticket, and you just
who gives you the popcorn?
Well, you got to go. They do have a concession still.
Oh, okay.
So we go in, and we're kind of early. So we go in there, and I love the new seating ways with the big recliners, and nobody's head is like only 3 feet away from you. It's really roomy nowadays. And
can't you drink beer and alcohol in there too?
Some places you can. We didn't go to one of those. I think they did sell beer. You're right, but I'm keeping it cool. I mean, I'm just like I'm stuffed.
Whatever. I'm talking about for myself, not for you.
I know. Well, the next time you go to the movies, yes, you're good.
Next time you and I go to the movies,
that is your food. We ain't going to the movies. This is a movie. So wait. So we're sitting in there and it's empty because we're early, and I'm talking and I'm going, this is good. I'm going, because we had to get like seats that were kind of over to the side. The whole thing was like sold out. I'm going, this place better be friggin' packed out because I'm gonna be pissed off if they sold us these seats off to the side when there's a whole bunch of space. He goes, no, people will be coming in minutes before the movie. So the place starts filling up. And the previews start rolling. They start to turn it on, and there's all these previews. And I'm making fun of the previews because there's some stupid shit that's going on with these like little quizzes and talks about things, and these people that are making a living being like hosts of asking questions about movies, or they're talking to celebrities and this and that. So I'm commenting, and Anna starts cringing. She right away. Well, let me say this real quick before I get into that. This was just. This was just another episode of Why I Can't Take My Dad Anywhere. Well, wait. So I'm talking, and she's going like, shh. She's shifting me.
Dads, you're embarrassing me, Dad. Stop.
There's nobody around, kind of, or there's people. I'm going, they're not listening to me. And she's like, so then more shit's playing, and I'm going, and she's going, shh. Then I'm watching this, and I'm getting this brainstorm. I go, it would be a really good gimmick. We need to hire out one of the movie theaters, place everybody as plants, like rent all the seats and put people all in the seats, get cameras to where I take her to the movies. She's sitting there, and the cameras are on us. And then right when the previews are playing, all of a sudden you get one of these. Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show. on the big screen, on the big screen. On the big screen. And then everybody, the whole crowd's going, Peter, and I just want to be sitting there. And meanwhile, the camera's on, like filming every emotion on her face, and she gets she really starts making those faces, and I just want to freak her out. I think it would be a good bit. I mean, I don't know how much it'll cost, but I think it'd be a great bit.
Oh my goodness, you got too much time on your hands, sir.
No, I'm a thinker.
You know, funny.
Yeah. I just think it'd be a great bit because everything I do sucks. So wait, one last thing. So we're walking out of the movie, and Jurassic Park is playing like next door or whatever, right? So all of a sudden, when you walk into the main lobby, there's like these little miniature cardboard dinosaurs that are the right, they're like 5-year-olds and stuff. And there's a little hole in the face. There's a hole in the face that you got to stick your face in.
Oh no!
I give her my phone. I go, I need you to take pictures. And she's like, Dad, no. I'm going, just take the friggin' pictures. Nobody's gonna notice. You know. So.
Oh dang! Dang!
So she starts snapping them off as fast as she can because she wants to get the hell out of there.
Of
and
course!
Like, come on, take this one too.
Yeah, of course. Oh no!
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, you're embarrassing me, man. Let's get out of here. I didn't even want to come to the movies with you anyway.
Oh my God! I forgot there was one more picture of her like this. I swear to God, I took it and she's like this. But that was my Father's Day.
You gotta love her, man.
It was. I love her to death as always.
Oh, she's the greatest, man. She's the greatest.
It's just good. Once again. I'm good. Hey, you want to do that again? No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Another reason why I got to tell you, like I said, that we should be started having these episodes of. And now for another episode of why I can't take my dad anywhere. All right.
Isn't that the truth?
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, we got Lauren from LA Sand Wellness getting ready to pop on in a second here. I went over. I'm sorry, but I had to. You reminded me of Father's Day, so I had to tell that. So you commence to holding down the fort.
Yes, here I go. I got to go to work.
I know she's ready. Shake your head, Lauren. You ready? I know you are. She's going to hurry up, or you hurry up?
Break a leg.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, we'll talk to you in a few minutes there.
Okay.
Right. And pay attention for God's sakes.
And welcome to the show.
Here we go. All right, folks. Without further ado, I want to bring on. We'll tell you we're doing women's wellness, and I couldn't be more happier to have on right now. Coming up from LA Sands Wellness, Lauren. Sandoval. Hey, Lauren, how are you?
Hey, that's quite the welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry to keep you waiting. He got me started on something, and I had to finish that story because. I don't know. I wish I had it all on film, but
that's your job, right? To embarrass her.
Well, I don't even mean to be doing it. I'm just. I mean, I'd be. Look, even if I was with Pepsi or whatever or whoever, I'd be. It's just she just it's really bad with her. It's your kid, So it's the way it is. She's 16, and it's just like you can see her just going down in the seat. But anyway, that's my. I guess it's my job, but I'm just doing. I would be doing it with or without her, but it's a lot more fun when she's there.
In like 10, 15 years from now, she'll appreciate it.
I know she will. But I'm telling you, when I started thinking up these little bits, I'm going, I got to do this because there's nothing better than watching the expressions of surprise of things going on, and I think it's just entertaining. But again, she's a good kid, but anything I do sucks. I mean, it's just keep it under the hat. Just don't talk about it.
I thought that would be a good 18th birthday gift or something. The whole theater setup.
But believe me, since I started thinking that, I wrote it down, and believe me, we're gonna make this thing.
You have a notebook of how to embarrass Anna.
Yeah, how much could it possibly cost? I don't think for the amount of reaction that I think I'll get out of it, I think it'd be priceless. But anyway, so all right, let's shift gears now. Sorry, the holidays and all. Yeah. But we're talking tonight. We're going to be specializing in women's health and wellness, correct?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a quick little synopsis about who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it, and why you do it? How about that?
Yeah. So I'm Lauren. I live in the Phoenix area, but I'm from LA originally. And I am a functional nutrition therapy practitioner, which basically is just fancy talk for I help women with their diet and lifestyle to really kind of figure out what's going on for them, get to the root cause, and figure out how we can heal from the inside out. So a lot of what I do is focusing on stress, whether that be mental, physical, mental, emotional, or like the more physical side of things. And so we're really looking at like gut health, vitamin mineral balance, and making sure that you're balancing blood sugar and all of these things to make sure that, your body has the tools to do what it needs to do on its own.
I got you. So, okay. I mean, when you mentioned gut health, I think that goes for men as well. I mean, lately, as we're getting older, we're focusing on that myself, because health is so, I mean, you get older, things start changing, and you don't really realize that, things are changing. You just accept what's going on. What's the mental aspect of what's going on with this whole deal? Because, there's a lot of women, whether it's, menopause or, all these physical things that are going on, but it also screws with your head as well. Then you get depressed, and, working out's a bitch. I mean, who the heck wants to, kick their own ass? I mean, honestly, I totally get it. I give a lot of credit to those who have the drive, but then there's people like you to help push and help put together something. But what's the mental, I mean, what do you see, like, why do they come, when people come to you, what's some of the biggest reasons they come to you for?
I mean, I would say the majority of women are coming to me for weight loss type stuff, but what they don't realize is that's just a symptom of everything else going on, right? So, I mean, if you're overweight or underweight, you've typically got some sort of gut dysfunction going on, which can then affect your mental health and vice versa. So a lot of women are kind of like in this burnout stage where they've overworked themselves. They're trying everything they can to do all of these things for their health, but in reality, they may not actually be helping. And, so a lot of people are just dealing with a whole host of stuff, weight, mental stuff, just stress overall. A lot of people are struggling with even knowing what's healthy anymore, or how to work out to really help themselves, or they've got hormone issues. So it's really all connected.
I mean, I was going to ask you, what do you think the biggest issue is that screws up more things overall? And actually, I would like to ask that question. What do you think the number one, in your opinion, is that really is the worst enemy for health and all that?
I mean, I would say it's kind of twofold. You can't really say one thing is the culprit, but what I really like to focus on is that mind-gut connection. And so understanding that any sort of stress you have going on in your life, whether that be, just the regular stress of daily life, your job, your kids, your commute, whatever, that will affect your gut. And then how you eat is also affecting your brain. So the two go hand in hand. If you're not focusing on both, then you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage.
I get it. But, you mentioned about, eating and what's healthy and what's not healthy. Unless you become a fanatic about reading all the labels. I mean, just like, you figure, I'll give it itself, yogurt. You go and buy some yogurt. You think you're doing better by eating yogurt, and yet most yogurts are really not that great. They're just yogurt label, but they don't do anything, and they hurt you more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would say reading your ingredient labels can be a huge, huge help there. If you just pay attention to okay, what is a natural ingredient? What is something you recognize versus something that, is like a gum or some kind of additive of some kind that is really going to be causing some issues. So if you can just pay attention to okay, are the majority of these ingredients things that I can recognize, then you're doing pretty well.
Well, that's the thing. It's it's a whole different education in itself, because I follow a few people that they go around to Costco's and they're talking about everything from peanut butter to olive oil to, to everything. And there's such slick labeling, what they say, extra virgin olive oil, and it's crap.
Yeah.
But yet they're able to say that, and you don't know what to look for, because I'm Greek, and I grew up with my parents, they would go and get olive oil from a traditional store that it was imported from Greece. They'd get the better stuff, like a gallon of it or something. And but yet now that I think about it, I really don't know how good it was or not, just because it came from Greece, because they're just as jacked up too. You got to have that right recipe on the label.
I mean, in Greece, you're probably going straight to the source, right? Like the olives are sourced there. You're probably going to like some kind of farmer grower that is like really connected with their food. But there's so many things. I mean, every product out there is marketed to us, you know, so all of the things that you read on the front is all marketing. And that should, if the more there is, the more you should really read the back and see what's going on.
No, I get that. I get that. But okay, so I mean, so when you take on people, I mean, what are you kind of teaching? I mean, do you have different types of avenues you go down with different people? Is it specific per person? Do you like analyze them and go, okay, it's catered to their life or what they want to do? I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah, so when I'm working with women in my program, I'm basically teaching them all the same things, but it's really about figuring out, okay, what is the most important to them? Where is the first place to start? And, you know, kind of deciding like which way to go down the path. But a lot of it is all the same that we're teaching them. And so, you know, it's a lot of how to eat more whole foods, how to recognize what foods are going to be more toxic for you, how to figure out what are like the things that really aren't going to work for you and your particular body, you know, and depending on their lifestyle, like what kind of exercise would be best, how to even eat to be able to fuel their lifestyle, things like that. So it is very customized, but it is general information. You know, it's very simple, very, very simple shifts that make huge transformations. It's just a matter of figuring out which ones you need to make.
Gotcha. The thing is, again, a lot of people are, you know, it takes a lot of guts to go, well, you know what, I got to better myself because I'm starting to fall apart, or I need to be in better shape. And then, you know, there's money involved. And let me tell you, being healthy or trying to eat healthy, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we're used to like fast food, or, you know, even just you went through like the 90s and 2000s, you know, like that's really when industrialization like took over and changed the whole food market. So a lot of things have changed over the last few decades.
Because you can buy a 2 liter of soda for, you know, now it's gone up a little bit, but, you know, for literally 99 cents. And I got to tell you, I like soda, and I'm now trying to off myself from it because I drank a lot of soda throughout my life because I enjoyed the sparkliness of it and the brightness of it. But I know how bad it is, you know. I mean, and now I'm finally at this point where it's like I got to stop. But it wasn't even about the money. It's like I just enjoyed the feel of it. You know what I mean? You know, but that's bad. So people are buying stuff because food's expensive, and then you try to like bread. Bread is okay. Maybe bread isn't good for you, period, or whatever. But most bread isn't good for you, and bread is like $4 or $5 a loaf nowadays.
Yeah, the good stuff is probably even more than that.
That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
so you're buying this processed bread, and then this isn't good. You really got to learn a lot because it's like these nuts. It's got to be, you know, it's bleached, and you know, again, who's got time for that? I don't. I mean, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I'm doing in my program is just helping people simplify. And so, you know, if you can kind of get to the point where you're eating predominantly whole foods, you're cooking more at home than you are eating out, you know, you're avoiding sort of those like super cheap processed fast foods, you know, you're going to do a lot for your health, because most people are still focused on the how can I save money component. But when you think about it in the long run, you know, how much are you spending on the back end for your medical bills and insurance and all of these things that cost you a lot of money? You know, pharmaceuticals alone, like a lot of people are now reliant on these things, and it's because they don't have great diets, you know, they're not living a good lifestyle. And so you either pay for it up front or you pay for it in the back end.
Well, again, and I find people spend money where they want to spend it, and that's a fact. No matter what, whether it's cigarettes or health or any way you look at it, until you get sick, and then you're screwed. And then again, and Pepsi is very Eastern medicine, and you know, and he's he believes in healthy cannabis.
I'm on board with that.
Look, he's meditating right now as we speak.
Pepsi's figured out life.
Yeah, he's figured it out. All right. So the thing is, it's like, so he's really, I mean, he's trying to, balance off the damage from the, to kind of balance it all out. But a lot of people, okay, let me give you an example. Hi, my name is Patty. I'm a 50-year-old semi-overweight woman. I'm gaining weight as I'm getting older. I'm really miserable with this. I don't like the way I look. It's depressing. I really don't want to do nothing. I don't want to go out, but I want to better myself. What do I do?
I mean, first I would ask, like, what kind of stress do they have going on in their life? Because sometimes, like whatever they're dealing with in their day-to-day can actually be more important than the diet itself. So that would kind of be my first step, is like, okay, what stressors do you have going on in your life?
How much time do you got?
What's that?
How much time do you have?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of
So,
stress
I mean,
going.
What's that?
There's a lot of stress going on.
So much stress. Everyone's under stress. So when I'm looking at someone like Patty, who's 50 years old, you can imagine they've got a lot of dysfunction going on because they've got probably a lot of years of damage to make up for. But it's amazing how just getting people to focus on the basic stuff, you have these huge transformations. So what I would be encouraging is, hydrate, make sure that you're getting good, clean water. You are making sure that, you're getting some good minerals within that water. You're getting good, decent food, which is predominantly whole foods, ideally not in a package. And then, making sure that your meals are balanced and you're getting a good mix of meats, vegetables, carbs, all of those things. And then really just kind of figuring out, okay, how much gut dysfunction do they have, and really dialing in from there.
Okay. 2 questions. You mentioned water, which is a daily thing for everybody. I mean, there's a million people are buying bottled water like it's going out of style. Yet, how much better is that water, than the tap that you drink? And I hear a lot of talk on, even Pepsi was like, he's been drinking Fiji water, and I just had this discussion. I sent him something. I'm going, alkaline water is the way to go. I mean, from what I'm told, but how do people, how do you know? People don't know. You figure you're buying spring water. How much cleaner is that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, if you're buying it from a company like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, like a Dasani water is probably not going to be great for you. However, tap water is really terrible for you. So as long as you can filter it in some way, try to get most of those heavy metals out, then you're doing better than most. Even cooking, like if you can use filtered water, that's probably a better bet for you.
But Dasani has like such a cool label and stuff, and the bottle looks cool and all that, and like Aquafina and all that. They're cool bottles. How could it not be good for you?
They're a Coca-Cola product, and that should tell you everything you need to know.
See, that's this is the thing, though. I mean, okay, let's just say, like, even the whatchamacallit, the springs and all these other places, go straight from the mountains. You know what I mean? And it's like the mountains where the bears poop. Like,
at least with spring water, though, you're getting pretty good minerals, ideally. So so when I'm buying bottled water, let's say, like, I'm usually going for more of a spring water. At home, I put in a reverse osmosis system into, like, just under my sink. You can buy them at Home Depot for like $200. It's not expensive, and as long as you can get it installed, it's pretty easy.
Right. But let me ask you something. What do you think about the alkaline waters? Because I even found that, okay, not all alkaline waters are the same, but I mean, do you believe in it, or that it's that much better?
I think alkaline water is kind of hyped up. It's kind of a big marketing scheme. I think, having your body be in an overall acidic state is really bad. That's the kind of state that you're going to be in that's going to breed disease. And so that is something that is important. But alkaline water, like, they're just putting some synthetic chemicals in there to make it alkaline, which I wouldn't exactly say is the best bet. So
okay, because I've been years ago I was looking into it, and there was saying all the hospitals in Japan all run alkaline water, and to keep your alkaline levels in your body. I mean, again, I think it's once again, you got to know what the hell you're talking about. But you mentioned disease. Do you feel that stress causes disease or attributes to disease, or do you think that's just 2 separate issues?
Oh, no, I would absolutely say that. I wouldn't say it causes disease necessarily. It absolutely could contribute. But if your body is in a constant state of stress, you are basically lowering your immune system, you're burning through minerals like crazy, and you're really putting yourself into a vulnerable position to be able for more disease to come about. So, hard to say if it actually creates disease, but it creates a cycle of dysfunction that can lead to disease for sure.
Gotcha. Because again, I mean, then I'm in big trouble. But I try to take a deep breath. But again, when you there's a lot of things going on, lots of balls in the air, and then you got the one guy that walks in, and it's like, just don't worry about it, man. Don't hassle it,
Pepsi's got the right idea.
Yeah, no, he's got the right idea. All right, he's and it's like, the whole world. It's like, it's all good, man. It's all good. And I'm going, it's all good, and he's like, calm down, just calm down. It's like, yeah.
I mean, we're all living under stress. Like, I have endless women coming to me that are like, well, I don't feel that stress, but they're listing on and on and on. I work, I take care of the kids, I take them to all their extracurricular activities. I'm working out really hard. I'm, stressing over my diet. I've got XYZ of these curricular activities, and just on and on and on and on. And I'm like, that's a lot of stress. What are you doing to mitigate,
Well,
And a lot of people they're so used to running on that cortisol, kind of just stress level that they've accepted it, they've adapted to it, and they're just running, fine. But then all of a sudden the body starts to break down, and then they wonder why. So, a lot of what I'm doing is helping them understand what is creating stress within the body, and like I said, that can be more than just the mental, emotional type stuff. And so, yes, we're all going to have this stress that, we can't really do much about, but what can we do about, what can we do to mitigate the other stuff? So that's why diet is so huge. If you don't have a great diet, if you are eating like crap all the time, you're, hosting all of these bad bacteria and all of these things, then you're really creating more and more stress on the body. And so if you can kind of reduce, what you can control, and then sort of try your best to mitigate what's left over, then you're in a much better spot than most people.
It just takes the fun out of everything. I like certain things, and I know people that would, eat the way they want to eat, and then but they exercised all the time to try to balance it off. Let's talk about exercise, because you got diet. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. You don't even have to know anything about it. But diet and exercise, I'm sure, is the ultimate going together. But what about exercise? I mean, over exercise, under exercise, what is enough? What is too much? What doesn't do any good? What does, the most efficient? I mean, where are we at with all that? Because there's so many different mixed opinions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say that's definitely something that falls under like the bio-individual, really like individual perspective, So for someone who has an extremely high stress lifestyle and they're under eating, they're over caffeinating, and then all of a sudden they're going to these like 5 a.m. boot camps, that's probably too much. Maybe what they need to do is tone it down, introduce some yoga, some walks outside, simplify a little bit. But for someone who's underactive, who's sitting on their butt all day, they're not really doing much, maybe they do need to increase. And so it really just depends on the person and where they're at. If you are living a super high stress lifestyle, adding more stress with a stressful workout and then not nourishing yourself well enough, not providing the nutrients you need to recover, then you're really putting more stress. So it just depends on the person.
Okay. And then as Pepsi is asking me, it's like, and what about, and this is really hard for me to do, but I mean, a lot of people, meditation or quiet time or all that.
I'm a huge proponent of meditation. I think it's great for everybody, but it's not always feasible. Some people just aren't there yet. And so one thing that I like to get my clients to do is like meditation walks, or just, taking a few moments out of their day to breathe really deeply. There's something called the 4-7-8 breathing technique, or box breathing. They even introduced that into the military because it was so great at just calming your nervous system. And so, just a few of these kind of easy, simple techniques that you can apply can really change the state of your nervous system, can really affect your stress, So if you can meditate, absolutely fantastic. If you can do it 20 minutes a day, perfect. If you're not there yet, doing something simple, just like taking 5 seconds to breathe deeply can just change your entire day,
Like that right now.
Yeah.
I can't tell if he was meditating or he's just zoning out, just falling asleep. But either way, whatever works, I guess, right?
I mean, listen, like good sleep, like that's all stress mitigation type stuff. So it doesn't have to be you sitting on a pillow like this for 20 minutes a day. It could be simple stuff that, as long as it's like, reducing your stress in some way, it's deactivating your nervous system, it's getting you into a calmer state. It's absolutely going to be helpful for your health.
I find that sometimes it's easier said than done, learning how to just turn it off or not let things get to you. I've known some people, I mean, their whole life, it's like, I had a friend of mine's father, and he was, God bless him, he was military, and every time I'd see him, I go, "Hey, Mr. Couch, how you doing?" And he goes, "Peter, if I was doing any better, I'd have to start taking medication for it." I mean, it was like never, I mean, seriously, like never. He was the most coolest, calmest, and the man died of a heart attack at like in his mid-50s, and I mean, it's like, yeah, and I'm going, well, how do you equate that whole damn thing? You know what I mean? I mean, life isn't fair sometimes. But
for me, it sounds like he probably had such high stress in the military that general life just didn't bother him much, but that affected him.
He was a cool guy, but the thing was, I always admired him to where I never saw him go off, and I'm sure he did, but I envy that, because there's a lot of stuff that I need to say, like, just, why am I letting it bother me? But obviously because it is, and with most people, it's like the day to day, the kids are driving you nuts, or the pressures of the people you work for, bosses, and I mean, you're walking on eggshells. It adds up, and it finally catches up to you after a while.
For sure. I mean, I would say though that, like, I have clients that, is when we're working on them doing a couple deep breaths a day, kind of sitting down and enjoying their meal rather than rushing through it, or balancing their blood sugar, like very, very simple things. All of a sudden they're like, it's crazy. I'm not as irritable as I used to be. I didn't snap at my children. I was able to get through homework hour without losing my shit, So it's crazy what just like calming some of the agitation within the body, reducing that nervous system agitation can do for your overall, mood and how you're responding and all of those things.
I get it. Again, I still say, unfortunately, easier said than done. Tina from Florida asks, so how do you do the 4-7-8 meditation?
Oh, so you can look it up on like Google. Dr. Andrew Weil, I think is how you pronounce his name. He was the one who kind of coined it. But basically all you're doing is breathing in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7, and then you breathe out for 8. And the box breathing is similar. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4, breathe out for 4, and then hold it for 4. So, we can do it together if you want.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah, but 4-7-8 breathing technique or box breathing.
Hey, unless you want to do it with Pepsi will do it with you. I mean, where is he? There you are.
It's really game changing, honestly. It's like, Dr. Andrew Weil, I think his name is. He's like, I can't even talk afterwards. I'm so calm. So it's very very calming.
Why don't you two just do me a 4-7-8? 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go. Come on.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Hold for 7. And then out for 8. I was so calm I forgot to count. How do you feel? It helps.
Yes. I did breathing exercises every day. I do them for a minute, and yes, so yes, and they definitely help.
1 minute will change your whole day.
But do it 2 or 3 times a day, right?
Yeah, I mean, as much as you can do. But I would say, like, for the majority of people, they're like Peter G, and they're like, I can't do that. won't even try it. You know what I
But
mean?
it only takes a minute. I mean,
Yeah,
a minute.
one person just to do like, 1 minute a day. It's crazy what it is.
Right, but I mean, do it 3 times a day. Just think about how many hours we spend conscious, awake. And so if you just do it 3 times a day, for 1 minute, right? It makes a difference.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One thing I like to tell people is like before you sit down for a meal, sit down and take 30 seconds just to breathe deeply before you start eating. It'll calm your nervous system. It'll help you get your digestive juices flowing. Everything will be better if you can just take a few seconds to breathe deeper. And so maybe that's not going to work for you. Maybe you're the type that has to sit at a desk and just chow through. Like, go on a walk after work. Just focus on your breathing. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's, any kind of movement whatsoever will get your breath activated and will really help your nervous system calm down. So
Miss Laura, I have to ask you. So, are these doctors? Are they on to something, man? When they say exercise and diet, are they on to something?
What do you mean? Like, are they doing the right thing by preaching that?
Yes.
I would say absolutely. Yeah. I mean, right. I just think, I don't know. I was watching the news the other morning. It just happened to be on at this restaurant I was at. And they were promoting a vegan diet and HIIT training. And to me, that's like the worst combo you could possibly come up with. You're reducing protein, reducing nutrients by going the vegan route. And then on top of that, you're encouraging people to exercise in this incredibly high intense way. And the two are like, you need protein in order to be able to withstand this high intensity workout. And so it just depends, like if you're doing these insane diets and these insane workouts, probably not the best for you. But if you can find some kind of balance where you actually feel good, you're sleeping well, you're recovering well, you're not sore for 2-3 days afterwards, then that's probably a great thing for you. But a lot of people also will work their butts off at like a boot camp type situation. And then they'll be like, oh, I feel so good. They're so pumped up. But then all of a sudden they've got all kinds of hormonal issues. They've got mood disorders. They're not sleeping well. And then it's like, but I don't understand why. I feel so good when I work out, but you're just running on cortisol, basically stress hormones.
You said something earlier that really piqued my interest though. You said balance, right? You said something about balance.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the name of the game, really, is just figuring out what works for that individual person. If you don't feel good doing something that you've heard is good for you, then it's probably not good for you. There's some element of, maybe you need to push through a little bit. Maybe you need to get over the hump. Maybe you need to, your nervous system needs to like relax into what you're doing that's new and different and out of your comfort zone. But if you've been trying, let's say, a specific diet or a specific workout for a month and you just feel worse, don't do that thing. Whether or not someone tells you it's healthy for you, something's not right. Maybe you're not prepared for it. Maybe you're not nourished enough for it. Maybe there's something that needs to change in order for that to work for you. But, if you don't feel good doing it, then it's probably not right for you.
Thank you.
What do you think about, because Pepsi has recently he's been becoming a yoga and Tai Chi master, which we're going to feature on the show eventually here. What do you think about all that?
Oh, I think it's fabulous. I'm a huge yoga person. I'm not great at it, but I like to do it at home most days. I'll just do like a quick 20-minute YouTube video or something. And I love it. I think it was definitely something that I had to work into. I had to get used to. I had to step out of my comfort zone. I was the type of kid in school who could never like pass those tests where you had to reach beyond your toes, and I was like, oh, I'm too inflexible. I can't do yoga. But, you keep trying, you keep pushing, and then you realize like it's more about the breath work and the holding of the poses and really realizing what your body's capable of rather than, oh, can I stretch this far? Can I be super bendy, And so for me, yoga is huge, but it's not for everybody. Some people need to do something different. And that's why something as simple as walking can be just as effective.
And that's where I come in.
You probably just need a little practice and a little introduction, because I would say yoga is great for most people. But if you're mentally not there, if you're just not like ready for that kind of exercise, then trying something different to, get you into the right headspace can be just as effective.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's. I'm going to zoom in now on. You said that you have a new program starting up for this year. Hang on, Pepsi. I'm putting you back over to the dark side. He goes, oh, yeah. I took him out. All right. You do courses, correct?
So I offer a 90-day program, and so within that program I offer modules or a full-on course. And so, I'm meeting with women one-on-one every single week so we can really talk through their personal issues, but to get more context they can go through this set of modules and really get a lot of good education information so that they really understand the why behind what they're doing rather than me just giving them recommendations.
I guess what I want to do is, right now, because time is flying as I knew it would be, but the thing is, for people to learn more about you, to find out, to talk to you, to contact you, I want to make sure we put up the best way to get a hold of you. And tell me about the different programs and things that you kind of feature and how that all works with you. Just because, everybody's a newbie when it comes to meeting you here, at least on the show.
Yeah, so I would say first step is go to my Instagram if you have it, or Facebook. I give a lot of free information there, but I also offer a mini course if you really want to understand how to balance your energy better, because I feel like that's what most people are dealing with. There's a little mini course that you can purchase on my website, or we do the full 90-day program. So if you're interested in more one-on-one approach, you're really wanting to really get to the meat of what you're dealing with and really find solutions without having to do the whole trial and error thing, that's really the best route. So it's a 90-day program. I'm enrolling now for July, and so that'll go for 3 months. And like I said, we're meeting every single week, so you really get a good idea as to what's going on for you, what caused it, and how to kind of get through it.
Gotcha. Because I know, personally speaking, throughout my whole entire life, I knew that I always had to have personal attention, because somebody to be held accountable to, because I just knew myself. At least I'm self-aware about what I know, what I know, and what I if I suck at something, I know I suck at something. If I feel I have a good chance at something, but I always, when it came to physical fitness, other than playing drums, and even then it took a band to get me out to do it, but because I wasn't the one who liked to sit home and just practice for hours.
Yeah.
But the thing is, to be accountable, you have to get into these programs, to have somebody hold you accountable, to get to where you have to answer to somebody to show up, to be able to, a lot of people now, the people who have the self-discipline, God bless them, but I'm not one of them.
They're few and far between,
Yeah.
Even if you do have a ton of self-discipline, it's hard to stay on track, and it's really, really incredible what you can accomplish with 3 months of really intense focus. And when you have someone who cares about you, your specific situation, you're not just going to a doctor, they're listening to you for 15 minutes and then sending you on your way. We're working together, coming up with solutions, making sure that those solutions fit within their lifestyle. And so, if you are somebody who does need that accountability, support, all of those things, then a program like this is absolutely perfect. Truly, I created it because I couldn't get what I needed just by going to a doctor. And so, it's incredible what people can accomplish just in those 3 months, but it really takes that direct focus.
I don't doubt it. Again, because it's tough. Nobody wants to kick their own ass, and it's hard in the beginning. And I remember one of these, fitness people that are in my area. I used to see him locally. I'd bump into him, and I said, because at that point, this was several years ago when I just kind of started going downhill again. And as we get older, and I just wasn't as active. I wasn't playing as much, and things were getting tougher. I'm going, I don't want to start because I'm scared of how horrible and how tough it's going to be. And he just looked at me and he said, a little at a time.
Yeah.
Just a little at a time. And so now, I'm kind of back into the walking, at least, and tough walking too, and hiking. But it's tough. It doesn't take nothing for me to get distracted trying to get out the door. Once you're out the door, you're fine. But it's I get so distracted with, I'm trying to get out the door, the phone rings, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and then nothing, and then all of a sudden I'm an hour and a half behind, and I don't have time to do it now because I got other things that are going on.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is really figuring out how to make this kind of lifestyle a habit for my clients. And so, getting them on some kind of morning routine or evening routine, even if it's not the same thing every single day, but getting yourself into a habit where this is not just something that you do for a short period of time to, lose some weight. It's really about figuring out, okay, how does this make you feel? Is it the right thing for you? And how can you make it sustainable and lasting? And it's pretty amazing what people will continue to do once they figure out what's working for them.
No, I get it. Let me ask Pepsi real quick because we're getting ready to, unfortunately, wrap it up. Time is flying. Pepsi, you have any questions? One last question for Lauren before we get close to signing off.
Oh, just want to say you're spot on, right? Spot on. The gut, nutrition, whole foods, exercise, meditation, yoga, the stretching. I'm just learning this, and it's just fascinating. And thank you so much for the education.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
There you go. So Lauren, let's. Well, the thing is, he's becoming one with the earth right now. Because God knows, I knew him when his diet consisted of Doritos and Mountain Dew. And
That's a true story. That's a true story.
But how much better do you feel, Pepsi, now that things are a little bit different? It's like minor changes and you feel a world of different.
Well, it's a long story, but but much better, and you speak the truth. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Because Rome was not built in a day. You don't tear down that building. It takes it only takes a few minutes to tear down a building, but to rebuild it, it takes quite a while. But Lord knows there's a work in progress. He's getting ready. He's on a Johnny Lalani fitness training program right now, and who knows? We might be looking at the next Pepsi Schwarzenegger right here.
I do think there's a point to that, making sure you have realistic expectations.
Yes. It's not the tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not the tumor. Hang on, I'll be back with you in a second. All right, Lauren Sandoval, I want to thank you for being on this little old show and spreading your knowledge and the word. And for people that want to get a hold of you, tell everybody one more time how they can find you, where they can find you, and I hope it brings you. It brought people a lot of good information and brings you some more interests.
Yeah. My website is probably the best spot. So lasandwellness.com. You can go there. You can get connected to all of my social channels. You can find out more about my program, my courses. So everything should be found there. If you want to find me on Instagram, it's lasandwellness.
Right. Because life is short, but it is definitely worth living. Absolutely. And, I hope to grow to be a ripe old age as my parents did, but that doesn't, you think just because people go, oh, you got good genes, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, shit happens.
With the environment, for sure.
Yeah, shit happens, unfortunately. But I'm going to, but it's always in the back of my head now because I just realized, we're just not that bulletproof like we used to be.
Yeah.
And I know that I got,
too many bullets coming at us at all times these days.
Especially nowadays. Yeah. And now they're starting to take aim at us too on top of it. Yeah. They're not just stray bullets. But anyway, I want to thank you for being on this show and giving us the time to do this. Maybe down in the future, once you finish up all your new, journey that you're on right now. And, we didn't really talk about that, but you're getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And again, I wish you the best with that because all I can tell you is that it was life-changing for me and it opened up a world in my soul that there's no words to describe it, but happy as hell. Oh,
I can't wait. Thank you for having me.
Your perspective on life just changes completely. I know that your husband and stuff, right? We talked about motorcycles and stuff. And at the time when my daughter was born, there was 4 Harleys sitting in the garage and going to the gas station was like a treat because you're always doing this, but I have no regrets. It was like no regrets because it was like, this is really cool.
It seems like the kind of thing that you sacrifice for without hesitation,
Well, it is what it is. You don't bring them into the world because you got nothing else to do, and hopefully you bring them in the world, and God willing, they have 5 fingers, 5 toes, and not everybody's that fortunate, but the best to you. And again, I thank you for coming on this show, and if and hopefully maybe I'll have you on in the future, and we'll talk about the after effects of giving birth and being a mother, a functional nutrition therapy. Like you might be going crazy. I might have to start getting help for you. Who knows?
I guarantee I will have good tips. So
that's what I'm saying. Life has a tendency to you're constantly learning, and God knows that the life is definitely a learning process. So there's no doubt about that. Yeah. No matter how old you are. So again, I thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, right here from LASandWellness.com. You can find Lauren there. Please go and visit her website and tell her that you saw her on the Peter G Show. Again, these shows live on forever, so you can dig them up on demand and check them out. But I appreciate her time and your time, and because time is precious. But again, thank you, Lauren, and we'll be talking to you soon, okay?
Thanks. Let's talk to you soon.
All right. I'll see you later.
See ya.
There you have it. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, man. She's really cool.
It was right up your alley.
Something.
What,
no, she's on to something. The gut. I mean, it starts in the gut, and right, yeah, nutrition and exercise, diet, yoga, tai chi. Yes, she's on to something.
We have been having a lot of these discussions lately. You know what I mean? And because of health and stuff, and not like you're bored, you got nothing else to do, but we've been having this, so I just figure we might as well broaden people's horizons, because it's again, life. If you're going to be alive, you might as well be alive, kind of well.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, right. What's the point if you're not enjoying the ride?
Right.
Well,
I think there's people that are happy being a fat tub of shit sitting in a corner, and they're happy, like they're watching TV and they're, they know that they're sick. A lot of people don't take care of themselves. I mean, I've lost more people due to lack of self-care than anything else, I think, in my southern, in my Florida connections, and they just they had diabetes. They didn't take care of themselves, or they just didn't do this. They didn't want to go to the doctor.
Yes.
And it saddens me.
But I mean, it's not like it's not like you all of a sudden you wake up one day, man, and you realize that you're 500 pounds, right? So
the people I've lost are not even 500 pounds. They just didn't take care of
right. But yes, so but there's many ways you can not take care of yourself, right? So like over ingestion of cannabis, perhaps I do that, or
perhaps
over ingestion of alcohol, but I mean really no exercise and diet and so yes, Miss Lauren makes a whole lot of sense, and
does
in what she's saying. So
yes, so we're gonna take that to heart. I hope the people that are watching the show take it to heart, take it in stride, and again, life is worth living. We can all do better, we can all do worse, but there's a lot of people that are in a hell of a mess, and I mean. Again, I could be better, but I definitely could be worse. I thank God every day, and I consciously think about these things, but sometimes it's just really hard to do. It really takes that whole lifestyle. You got to give up something to put in place of that, and that's tough. But if you want it bad enough, I guess you will. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Swanee Lalani.
Psycho Doozy.
Yeah, they go. Here's Pepsi when he's thinking.
Psycho Doozy.
They go, what do you hear, Swanee? I hear cricket. Anyway, all right. Listen, so I'm glad you enjoyed the show, Pepsi. I mean, that's good enough for me.
Always.
Good enough for me. But so we'll continue on next week because we're already out of time. But I appreciate everybody who tuned in and tuning in, pays attention, shows up, all of the above, because it makes getting up and putting up with the whole week and doing this worth it. And I hope I hope we can finally. I want to stick to this little bit I want to do in the movie theater. I really don't want to let that idea go away because I want to. I don't care what it costs at this point because I just think if you see her next to me when she makes those faces, well, because she's always around you.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey,
I'm good.
Go do this. Want to come with us?
No, okay. No, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
He's the adult, and we're the children. Anyway,
Who loves you, baby?
Yeah. Anything else? Anything else before we leave?
Who loves you, baby?
Who loves you? I forgot. What? You looking at me?
What? You looking at me?
You looking at me?
No. Do you looking at me?
Don't look at me
Who
like
loves
that.
You? Who always be kind. Always be kind. Always.
All right. All right. That's it. Then I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna get off of this thing. Okay. All right. Till next time, America. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen. This one take my deep breath is once I let him go. That's like, I made it. I made it. One day we're going to take a collection of every time I let him go off the show of all the times I take that deep breath. That's the deepest breath I probably take all week long. Is the minute he's like, okay, goodbye. And it's like, give me a minute. Give me a minute. Let me just regroup. Okay. Look at that son of a bitch. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Yeah. Look. See, this is what I got to deal with. My adult, my eldest child. Okay. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here, right every week, right now. Don't forget the podcast. If you can't catch the show visually, you can check out the podcast. Just Google Peter G Show podcast, and it'll take you to one of the many. All there. I want to thank Lauren from LA Sand Wellness for coming on this show. Check out her website. All right, it's worth it. Take care of yourselves. Life is short. I love everybody. I it's so sad. I mean, the larger my crowd gets, the more things you hear about who's passed away, who's sick, who's going into surgeries. It's, because I follow Facebook, like a fiend, because I love Facebook, the people on Facebook, and I watch all these things, regardless of all the other, streaming platforms we're on. But you learn about people, you end up hearing people, and I don't want to hear that stuff. But it's just life. So try to take care of yourself. All right. My name is Peter G. I thank you for all tuning in, and I want to invite you back next week. As always, like clockwork, God willing, right here. Again, I remind you, be kind, like Pepsi says. You don't have to take a bunch of crap from people, but you don't have to put up with, you don't have to be an ass either. Life is too damn short. Just can't we all just get along? Life is really a pain in the ass right now, and it's not going to get any easier anytime soon. So try to handle it. Let's all stick together. Don't let them divide us over stupid things that we should never even be discussing. Which next week, speaking of discussing, next week is going to be let us help piss off the people who don't agree with the truth week. And Pepsi and I are going to take the stage, and I'm going to be talking about it'll be what we call what do you call that? Current events. We'll be talking about life, just Pepsi and I. And that's it. All right? So, as always, my name is Peter G. Thank you for watching Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. And as always, I love you guys. I really do. And peace out.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorce Dad.